My name is Rawaf Ahmed. My name is Rawaf Ahmed. Right now, I am a student at Pace University doing chemistry, about to graduate in like a month. Very excited about that. Right now, I'm living in East Williamsburg in Brooklyn. We are in my apartment. How does science and art meet? I remember Brenda, my one of my amazing professors in art. She said, "Scientists make the world easier, and artists make it prettier." I think they work hand in hand, and I think science make art easier, and art makes science worthwhile. I'd love to think of myself as a scientist, but at the same time, I don't want it to mean that I can't perform art. And I'm not gonna say I'm artist because then I can't understand calculus, for example. I wish I do. 3D design is really interesting to me because 3D design I could like have it, I could touch it, I could smell it, I could feel it with other senses that just than just me looking at it. Also, in 3D design, there's not much of rules. So, for example, well, I've made this chair. If we compare designing it like 3D something like a sculpture, like something in real life, versus designing something behind a screen, designing something behind a screen, it's good. It makes it that you have the ability to make it perfect, to make it aligned. You have these little tools that helps you with it. When you design something behind a screen, you can make it perfect, and you can make it with the help of other tools. But at the same time, you are limited with the things that you can do. First, you're limited with the program itself. It has limited amount of tasks. And the second one is that you're limited with your own like knowledge about this program. But with this, like if I wanted this piece to be in this location, I just like put it. I know how to do it. I just glue it and put it. But in the program, I need to learn how to do it properly. There's different way of doing it, and it's kind of like it makes it a bit difficult at the beginning, and you end up most of the time doing something that you did not initially want it to do, just because you just didn't know how to communicate with that program. And this one also there is a limitation too, which is physics. You're limited with the laws in reality, which is I think where the science comes in a way. There's more connection because the art that you make is bounded by the same physics and laws that I am bounded with, and there's also I can communicate with it with more than just looking and listening. I could touch it. I could smell the wood. I feel the pain in my. It really I feel like when I was sanding these pieces, like this chair is like smaller pieces of wood that I put them together, and when I was doing them, like my back hurts a little bit, my forearm hurts. When the piece is done, you look at it and you feel satisfied, and also like your body is relaxed, and you're like ah. In one of the classes, we were doing 3 projects for the whole semester. And the last project was doing a chair. My professor said, "I know making a chair is very difficult, but you guys get to keep it." I really enjoyed the idea of keeping it. Because there was like last 2 weeks of this, I think last 2 or 3 weeks of the semester, they're like, we're gonna make a chair. I need to design it, and I need to find the pieces, and I need to create it, make it. But I found the motivation into keeping it for me after we are done with this. So I made it for me. I put my effort because I want to make it for me, not for the professor. At the beginning, I didn't have an idea of like what type of chair I would make, and I was surfing through like artists making chairs, and I found one that really caught my eye. It was a normal chair, wood chair, and I love wood. And also, it was weird because it felt like a bunch of scrap of wood, and it's made of if made it's made of a bunch of like scraps, and it doesn't look like it's garbage. It looks like it's made to be put in a living room. And it's just baffled me like, wow. I've decided to make something similar to this because I could modify it in my own liking too. I've made this chair, which is a bunch of little pieces of wood that are glued together. I made this arm, the right arm, a bit higher than the left one because I was watching a show and the king was like doing this. It was cool. I was like, hey, I want to do something similar to this. The left arm is shorter, so I can go this. I also like that sitting because feels elegant in a way because it's like two sides. I really love this. The chair is very supportive, surprisingly. I made some secret little stuff in here. I'm not gonna share because then it won't be secret anymore. There's this leather pillow. One of the teacher assistants, I came into his office one day and and he was like pulling out a piece of leather. If I could remember, this is maybe one of the, if not the first, one of the few times I've actually touched the leather raw, like before it'd been made in a wallet or something, like just by itself. And it felt good. I like how smoothness and like how strong it is, you know? And then I felt like it would create a nice touch to put it with wood, to put with this scrap like some leather. I felt it will make a nice like combination. So I've decided to put it as a pillow, and I put on the lower left armrest. I put another little smaller pillow. I had only one choice. I need to put it either on the left or the right because the piece is just not enough of it. And I figured that on the left is much more. This is where the science comes in, I guess. I don't know, but it's if on my left arm is compared to me laying on my right one. In my left arm, my shoulder, my upper body, and my head is gonna have the whole weight on my left elbow. On the right one is just my forearm and my hand. So this is lighter than this one. So I figured if I'll make the one that is having the heavier weight more comfortable. The chair took me 3 weeks because it was at the end of the semester, I remember. But I also remember almost every day I'm at the studio working on it. I didn't have time, and I also wanted to make it really good because it's for me. It's not just for the exam or the critique. So I had to work on it to make it really good because I'm working on it to keep it. I'm not working on it for the critique. I spent a lot of time. It was a bit tireful, but at the same time, I got to experience the things that I fantasize about doing when I'm done with school and come back home. Of having like my own studio with my tools, and I just like go there and work. Making this chair gave me a bit of taste of how it felt like doing it, and it was fun. It was really fun. It was different than I thought. For some reason, I didn't expect the noise when you, for example, when you cut the wood. The saw noise is like so loud, and it's not what I imagined. So me doing it, I all I hear around was like, you know. So that bit was kind of like not the best, but also like there were headphones for it, like specific like silencing headphones. You know, wearing them is helps, but then uh, there's something in your head. You know, it's kind of annoying, and I can't listen because even if you put your AirPods and trying to listen to something, When you have a loud noise around you, you just can't hear. So this part I didn't really like about, but I'm glad I knew that this is there. So when I make my studio, like make my workshop or garage or whatever, I'm not gonna be disappointed or like surprised or something. Like I kind of know what's going on. And then sanding, it's it's not it's not the most fun doing it, to be honest. Now I just remember like me doing it when making repetitive tasks. Like when I was cutting the pieces of wood, I had to have like 2 or 3 measurements, and I'm doing like a lot of these 2 and 3 measurements. So it was like a bunch of repetitive tasks, and that wasn't that much exciting because you get excited at you start with the first piece, you kind of make it perfect, and then the next piece, and you're like, oh my god, I got to do all this again for so many pieces. um yeah, it gets tiring, but after I made it and finished it, it was worth it. It was one of the things that were worth it. And I can tell you, you can take my words on it when I say it's worth it, because not everything I think it's worth it. I'm not sure if this is the actual reasons, but these are reasons that come up to my head right now, so I'm just gonna say them to you. One reason, maybe, I don't know, so maybe because I don't like paying someone to come and make things for me. Making things my own way solved that problem. That's one reason, I think. Another one is the availability. When I want something, like specifically, because I'm kind of like very specific when I look for things that I want. I'm like, I want it to be this shape, I want it to be this color, and I want it to be like, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a specific thing. What I mean by this is that the whatever it is, the shape it is, it must have this specific thing in it. For example, I was looking for a packback recently. I didn't care more of what it looks like. I didn't care of how many pockets it has. Just cared about the size of it. The size has to be what I'm looking for. I want a backpack where it's small enough to carry my laptop, as small as it can that it can carry my laptop. Like if it's like an inch more, if it has an inch more room, I wouldn't want it. Me working in a workshop, or like trying to have a like hand tools and stuff, will make this problem goes away. If I had the tools and I've learned how to make them, and it's not that hard. I learned it's not that hard. I was watching YouTube and how they make like crazy stuff, and I found the process of making them is much easy. It's very easy. It's like little tricks that they do. Like for example, like when person making a paper flower or something, like he folds the paper in a way and he just make like one cut. Then he opens it, and then you can see this pattern. It comes in a way. Even woodworking, there's these small tricks that we do. Well, I hope one day I will do. This is one reason too. Another reason, it's more convenient, and this would be an outlet for me to see what I'm up to. I've been thinking to myself that had I know how to do this thing, had I been able to have a way where I can take whatever I'm thinking of from my head to reality, people would be amazed. This is a way where I'm like, let's see it all off if this is true or not. That's another reason too. I'm not sure if, okay, the machine created this. This is my face, but I colored it. This is something I think I would say I created. I made a camera stand, which is the one that is being used to record me right now. I made the table. I made a small table. My roommate once, she decided to build her own cat litter box, and the remaining of that wood, I took it and I bought some legs, and yeah, we're just like in a simple project. But I was like, let me see how it feels like. Like, what do I need to do? Like, how do I do it? Do I glue them? Do I screw them? Do I like make some wood lock or something? Yeah, I ended up making this little table. Oh, at the beginning, I will try to make my whole workshop handmade as much as possible. This is what I'm gonna start. This is the project. Is building the workshop with my own hands. Then I build the desk that I'm gonna work on. I'm gonna build the cabinet. I'm gonna build the storage. I'm gonna build these little things. This is what I'm planning to do. By me doing this, I will accomplish new, skills and tricks and stuff like that. So when the workshop end up being complete, I know stuff by then. I'll be ready to work it. If money, obviously, I will not plan to not make money out of it. You know, if it didn't end up making me money, I'm not gonna stop doing it. I'm not, because I'm not making it for the money. I'm making it to release stress. I'm making it to create the life that I want to live in. I do want to wait in somebody's design to fill my life or something. I want to design my own life. I want to design my own table. I want to design my own chair. I want to be able to put the things that I'm imagining into real life, instead of just like going and shopping and see what's out there and then bringing it home. I want things around me to speak like my voice in a way. If that was sounded cheesy a bit, but yeah. I'm not gonna work 9 to 5. That's absolutely. I'm not gonna be behind a desk. That's absolutely gonna happen. Most likely, my work. Rarely, I'm gonna travel to it. It would be something like very close, like walking distance. Could be my garage. It could be basement. My work needs to be accessible 24/7. If I will have an assistant or an employee or something, it would be just one. Two maximum, but I would say one. I'm not gonna work for someone. I'm not sure if I'm gonna work with someone, meaning that what they get to have a say. Like, of course, they can have an opinion, they can tell me suggestions and stuff like. But at the end of the day, I am the one who takes the suggestions or not. And it's not something that they're gonna be upset or something like they're gonna be happy if I took the suggestions, and they shouldn't be not happy if I didn't take them, because they're not supposed. The job is not to give me suggestions to begin with. This makes a lot of less headache into when I go out to the outside world, and because when you try to do the thing that you want, and if you work for someone or you work with a lot of people, you're not gonna end up doing the thing that you want. You're gonna end up doing the thing that is the net result of everyone there. And that's not what I'm looking for. I don't see myself working with a lot of people. I see myself having fun though. I see myself the person who's gonna work with me, I think they're gonna have blasts of like a good time. Whenever I'm deciding to do something, it's just like, oh, I think I wanna do this today. Okay, let's go do it. That's different between having a project or like an assignment, and like, oh, you need to do this, and you have a week to do it, and you're like, what the no, I want to do something because I felt like doing it right now. So I think it would be stress free.